The Dyatlov Pass Incident, Russia's greatest mystery. In the freezing winter of 1959, a group of 9 young hikers from the Ural Polytechnic Institute set out on a skiing expedition into the northern Ural Mountains of Soviet Russia. They were led by Igor Dyatlov, a bright, determined 23-year-old who was known for his discipline and skill. For the group, this was supposed to be an exciting challenge, a trek that would earn them the highest certification in mountaineering. But none of them ever returned alive. When their bodies were eventually discovered, the details shocked even the most hardened investigators. To this day, more than 60 years later, the Dyatlov Pass incident remains one of the most chilling unsolved mysteries in modern history. On January 23, 1959, 10 hikers began their expedition. One of them, Yuri Yudin, had to turn back early due to illness, a decision that would save his life. The other 9 pressed forward into the snowy wilderness. By February 1st, they had reached the slopes of a mountain the local Mansi people called Khola Tsyakhl, Mountain of the Dead. Strong winds and blizzards forced them to set up camp on the mountainside. It was there, on that lonely slope, that their story came to a horrifying end. When the hikers failed to return, search parties were sent out. On February 26th, rescuers discovered their camp. The scene was terrifying. The hikers' tent had been slashed open from the inside. All their belongings, boots, coats, and supplies were left behind. It was as if they had fled into the night half-dressed in a state of panic. The first 2 bodies were found under a cedar tree, dressed only in underwear, their hands and feet badly burned. 3 more bodies, including Dyatlov himself, were discovered a few hundred meters away, as though they had tried to crawl back toward the tent. The final 4 bodies weren't found until spring, buried under several feet of snow in a ravine. That's when the mystery deepened. These last victims showed injuries no one could explain. One woman was missing her eyes and part of her tongue. Another had massive chest fractures, as if struck by an enormous force, yet with no external wounds. Some of their clothes contained traces of radiation. The hikers had not been attacked by animals, and there was no evidence of another group nearby. The cause of death was officially listed as a compelling natural force. But what kind of force could terrify 9 experienced hikers into tearing their tent apart and fleeing barefoot into sub-zero temperatures? The theories. Over the decades, countless theories have emerged. Avalanche. Some believe a small avalanche hit the tent, scaring the group into escaping. But experts argue the slope was too shallow and the evidence doesn't match. Soviet military tests. Others point to secret Soviet experiments. In the 1950s, the region was used for missile and parachute tests. The strange radiation, bizarre injuries, and reports of glowing orbs in the sky suggest they may have stumbled upon something classified. Infrasound panic. Another theory suggests strong winds created a rare infrasound effect, low-frequency vibrations that can cause feelings of terror and disorientation, pushing the hikers into irrational flight. Paranormal explanations. UFOs, alien encounters, and even the Yeti have been proposed. Locals claimed to have seen mysterious orange lights in the sky that night. Could something beyond human understanding have caused the chaos? Foul play. Some believe the hikers were attacked by secret operatives or escaped prisoners. Yet no footprints were found except their own. The aftermath. The Soviet government quickly closed the case, classifying many of the files. families of the victims were left with unanswered questions. Over the years, researchers, journalists, and even official inquiries have reopened the investigation. But the mystery has never been solved. In 2019, Russia revisited the case, concluding that an avalanche was the most likely cause. Yet many experts and family members reject this explanation, pointing out the inconsistencies. The Dyatlov Pass incident remains a symbol of fear, curiosity, and endless speculation. The legacy today. The site is known as Dyatlov Pass in memory of Igor Dyatlov. Thousands of hikers and adventurers visit the region, retracing the final steps of the doomed group. But when they stand on that windswept slope, many admit they feel a strange, unshakable presence, as if the mountain still holds its secrets. 9 young lives ended in ways no one can fully explain. Were they victims of nature, human error, military secrecy, or something far more mysterious? We may never know the truth. But one thing is certain. The story of the Dyatlov Pass incident will continue to haunt the world for generations to come.